by Bob Johnson and campaigned on some of the speedways by NASCAR Busch North Series driver Randy LaJoie.
That's second and third place. Harry Gant is second. His car owner is Ed Whitaker with Pat Patterson. Pat?
Ed Whitaker is the car owner on Harry Gant's number 7 car, who's now in second place. Ed, it seems like the car's doing really well out there.
Yeah, it's running pretty good. Tire stagger's off a little bit, but he's just trying to hang on right now.
We weren't sandbagging any out there waiting for the right time to go, were we?
No, we got the tire stagger off and just now got it back close.
Okay, well, Harry Gant's won here at Charlotte before, and he'll attempt to do the same thing again.
Sandbagging? People don't sandbag at racing. No. Stick around. There's more coming up from the Charlotte Motor Speedway after this.
You know, my dad was a mechanic, so I learned at an early age how important it is to use the right motor oil. Well, cars have gotten real complicated since then. So for today's cars, you need today's motor oil. New Superflow from Exxon. Hey, this is a real winner. It's got this special additive wear band. Then super it block and wear around the rings, cam, pistons, all over your engine. So you want your engine to last? Go with the flow. New Superflow.
When I go on vacation, I leave the entertainment to Ricardo, the cooking to Francois, and the picture taking to Minolta.
Introducing Minolta Freedom Dual, a touch of the button for group shots and telephoto too.
I leave it all to my Freedom Dual.
It's autofocus with 2 built-in lenses. Your check?
You can leave that to my husband.
For great pictures.
You know who to leave it to.
Freedom cameras.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys.
Thanks, New York. Your response to the new Country 97 FM has been overwhelming. You've called, you've written, you told us you love Country 97 FM's continuous country favorites. And you can count on us to keep on playing more of your country favorites back to back, just the way you like them. So keep your radio on 97.1 FM, Country 97 FM, your new home for continuous country favorites.
Darrell Waltrip continues to lead the show here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Rusty Wallace and Bobby Allison, the 72 and 33 cars, respectively, right behind. Likewise, in that particular shot, Tommy Ellis, car number 58, Harry Gant, Brett Bodine also in the battle. Harry Gant, you know, we talked earlier about Jeff Bodine's new car. Harry Gant's car's got some history to it. All of these cars really do, but Harry's in particular, you were just telling me during the break.
You know, Ed Whitaker, who owns this car of Gant, bought it 9 years ago from Sam Ard, and they say Sam had won some 50 short track races with the car. He's had a new front section put on the car by Mike Laughlin, but Ed Whitaker said, you know, Jerry, from the steering wheel back, this car is 9 years old. They moved it from a short track car to a speedway car. Listen to some of the drivers who've driven it on the super speedways the last 5 years. Dale Earnhardt, Morgan Shepherd, of course Gant, Alan Kowicki, Joe Ruttman, Bill Elliott. This car's had some super drivers, and now Gant is starting to move back toward the front as Brett Bodine trying to run him down a little bit.
Harry Gant's car was number 7. There you see Tommy Ellis, Bobby Allison, Robbie Moroso. The youngster from Connecticut is showing a lap down, but having a good run nonetheless. Oh, and Tommy Ellis off the pace just a bit. He'll slow on the inside of the racetrack. Tommy Ellis is being shown, Jerry, in 6th spot.
What a tough break for Tommy out of Richmond, Virginia. He's running in the top 7 or 8 all afternoon. After a qualifying effort that was a little less than they would have liked to run, Ellis started back in 19th spot inside of row 10. He has been running in the top 5 or 6 all day, and looks like it may be over for Tommy Ellis.
But there you see the gap between that orange car, Darrell Waltrip, and Harry Gant in car number 7. That gap from 1st to 2nd spot is beginning to narrow just a bit, as you see Tommy Ellis continuing to tool around the speedway at a greatly reduced speed.
Tommy trying to make his way back to pit road as the leaders now come shuffling down the backstretch.
Still Bobby Allison, the 33, inside the 72 of Rusty Wallace, battling at the moment for fifth and sixth spots. And Bobby Allison will win that battle off the low side of the racetrack for the moment.
Remember, Bobby Allison made that unscheduled stop to come in and remove the tape from the grill, so that put him at the back of the pack. He is climbed. We have trouble. Patty Moise's car is looped it around and spun, and looks like we will be under caution once again here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Eli.
Putting out the caution on lap 185, Bobby Scruggs will bring this field to a slower pace. Darrell Waltrip probably did not want to see a caution at this point, or possibly he did because Gant was continuing to close in just a bit.
Well, 12, 13 laps to go. It gives everyone a chance to come in and put a couple of fresh tires on if they so desire. Make one last shot, one last run for what will be probably a 10-lap sprint to the finish.
Brett Bodine running in the third spot. Got Bill Elliott along with Bobby Allison and Rusty Wallace. Those are the only cars on the lead lap.
There's Elliott. You know, Brett Bodine has never won one here. He finished second a couple of years ago back in the spring race in '86, second to Tim Richmond. He would like to win one on the speedways. In fact, Brett hasn't won a race all year. It's been a year. He won on the short tracks at Martinsville in November a year ago, his last Busch Grand National victory. And there he sits in the white car behind two Winston Cup veterans. The young driver has his work cut out for him.
You saw car number 93 there a few moments ago, Benny Curley from Hiddenite, North Carolina. One of those who's out there, campaigns a good number of the Busch Grand National races, doesn't get the headlines. Patty Moise, her car on pit road.
David Ifton, the crew, working to change tires on the Red Roof Ends Buick. The Ruggles V6 powering the car of Patty Moise, another challenge driver who came over from the IMSA ranks and has done very well for herself.
While we bring in the third member of our crew for a moment, Pat Patterson is standing by down in the Brett Bodine pit area. And Pat, we've been talking about all that's been going on, who has the strength, who doesn't, and we were just commenting about Brett Bodine. What's the theory down there?
Well, the only regular Busch Grand National star left with a shot to win this one today is Brett Bodine. He's been quiet all day. He lost a lap earlier, made it up. Now he's running in the top three. Move around and ask Jerry. Jerry, what's he saying about the car at this point?
It's handling great right now. We're just trying to hang on here to the end, make a real good move. The car's been a little bit loose all day, and we tightened it up that last stop. It's running a lot better now.
Okay, well, Jeff, Brett Bodine will represent the Busch Grand National contingency in the final laps of this one.
Might mention Jerry Kennan has been a crew chief on that car for 6 years, a car owned by Howard Thomas, and 2 years the car was driven to championships by Sam Ard. And one of those years Sam Ard won here at Charlotte was this race in 1983. So 4 years ago, Sam Ard was in that car that Jerry Kennan was behind pit wall, and now Kennan would say, let's do it again, this time for Brett Bodine.
And it will be interesting to see who ends up in that 00 car next year. As we all know, Brett will be going full-time Winston Cup racing, as has already been discussed. And that 00 ride, although they have not had typical 00 success this year, it's still one of the best rides on the circuit.
I tell you, some names being hammered about, possibly Tommy Ellis, maybe Rick Mast, maybe Larry Pollard, and that'd be a good shot for Larry to get in that car.
Lights are out atop the safety car. Winding our way down to 13 laps remaining. That's what the status will be when they get the green from Bobby Scruggs next time by. Darrell Waltrip, Harry Gant, the 00 for Brett Bodine. Those cars on the inside line. L.D. Ottinger, the 2 machine, the 25 of Rob Moroso, the 23, the jerseys by Russell Buick for Donnie Allison. They're all at least a lap down.
Lap cars on the inside, as you said. Moving back, there's Glenn Jarrett, of course, Robert Ingram Jr. Good sponsorship announcement this week for Robert Ingram. He will have Rick Hendrick sponsoring his cars for the remaining 3 races of the year and possibly all of next year, and he may run some Winston Cup races.
Back to green. We will have 13 laps remaining as we get back to the wars. Harry Gant quickly flashing past L.D. Ottinger to stay right on the rear deck of Darrell Waltrip in the 17 car. Who do you like here?
Going to be a tough call. Waltrip has run up front all day. Gant has been saving the equipment. He would like to run him down. In May, it was a reversal. It was Gant and then Waltrip at the finish line. Maybe it'll be that way again.
Harry's been strong on the straightaways all day. Again, he drew alongside Waltrip, but Darrell comes battling back on the high side. Don't go away. We're down to the final 10 laps as soon as we come back.
The greatness of America is displayed in our constitutional right to bear arms, a rich heritage and tradition that spans generations. And preserving all of this is the NRA, the National Rifle Association. You can become a part of this great heritage simply by calling now 1-800-451-6500. For just $20, you will receive the privileges and benefits of NRA membership, including 12 exciting issues of the American Rifleman or American Hunter magazine, $600 gun theft insurance, $10,000 accidental death and dismemberment insurance, your official NRA membership card and window decal, plus NRA's gold-braided insignia shooter's cap. And if you call right now, you will also receive NRA's Sportsman's Premium Pack, loaded with valuable discounts and rebates from the world's leading manufacturers of hunting, shooting, and sporting equipment. Call 1-800-451-6500. Preserve your heritage of freedoms. Join the National Rifle Association.
You're watching Madison Square Garden Network.
The American eagle, proud, free, an image as powerful as the land it symbolizes. This national symbol of freedom and the American spirit is now offered as a limited edition masterwork, the Golden Eagle. The artist has meticulously sculpted the Golden Eagle in painstaking detail, layered his creation in the purest 24-karat gold, and engraved into the rocky ledge his authentic signature and individual serial number, creating a true limited edition collector's item that you'll proudly display among your most prized possessions. The Golden Eagle is offered exclusively through the Metropolitan Guild for Collectible Art at the original issue price of $19.95. This is a limited edition. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-441-3535. That's 1-800-441-3535. Or save COD fee and send $19.95 plus $2 postage and handling to the Golden Eagle, P.O. Box 2001-MSG, Murray Hill Station, New York, New York.
Under green flag conditions, here's how the field stacks up as we work our way towards 10 laps to go. Darrell Waltrip leads. All of those cars you see are on the lead lap. They are the only cars remaining on the lead lap. 1 lap down in 6th, L.D. Ottinger. Robbie Moroso is 7th. 8th is Glenn Jarrett. 9th is Bobby Dragon. And that's how it stacks up at the moment, according to our unofficial tally. I believe we've left out Rusty Wallace. He, too, should be showing on the lead lap. Let's put Rusty up into the 6th spot and correct what we had mentioned. 6 cars on the lead lap, the ones we showed you, plus Rusty Wallace. That right there, however, is the battle for the lead. Darrell Waltrip and Harry Gant. And Gant trying to peek to the inside of the Tide Ride, coming off turn number 4. He's got him. Harry Gant, with 10 laps to go, takes the lead here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Now can Waltrip come back on him?
Buick, then Chevrolet, then Oldsmobile, Gant, Waltrip, and Bodine. But the 2 veterans up front, and now Brett Bodine sitting back there just about buying a little bit of a concrete, was Bill Elliott in the car number 9. Elliott backsliding now. That's the battle back for 5th spot as Bobby Allison moves inside of Bill Elliott.
Bobby is 4th, Elliott 5th, Wallace is 6th. Harry Gant now, for the first time in a long time, assuming the lead. Harry led back on laps, well, he led back on lap 188 for just a single lap. His last lead of any consequence back in lap number 55 earlier in the event. Bobby Allison and Bill Elliott still battling, trying to sort out the positions in the top 5. Rusty Wallace still there as well.
Rusty back in 6th spot. Elliott is 5th. Allison is 4th. And the 3 cars up front. Gant now a couple of car lengths over Waltrip. Both Harry Gant and Darrell Waltrip have won here at Charlotte since the modern era for the Busch Tour. Gant won back in '82 and again this year in the spring events, whereas Darrell Waltrip has been more successful in this fall event. Waltrip won back in '82 as well in '84. Terry Labonte won this fall event in '85, driving in sub for Darrell Waltrip in this car. In his car, not this car. This is a brand new car.
Just saw a good close-up look at Brett Bodine, last of the Busch Grand National regulars, with a serious chance at winning here this afternoon. Darrell Waltrip getting just that much closer to Harry Gant now. Got to believe Darrell is just setting Harry up for a move here in the waning laps.
Harry moves up across the track in the corners. Darrell seems to be able to keep the car down a little bit as Harry bobbles somewhat coming out of turn 4. Moving around one of the slower cars. Gant awfully strong on the front stretch, and I guess Darrell has begun to realize if he's going to make a move, he needs to get it in the corners. Darrell again sneaks a little bit of half a lane to the inside. Gant holds the middle groove, as they have to be careful that Brett Bodine doesn't sneak up on him back there. Brett is back there, of course, Bobby Allison and Bill Elliott. How would you like to meet Brett Bodine? Have 4 Winston Cup superstars surrounding you with laps winding down here at Charlotte.
Of course, Brett, running on the Winston Cup Tour this year, is used to running with these guys. You're right, this circumstance is a whole lot different as we're down to the final 5 laps of the event. Going past Rick Mast, who, if you're just joining us, running on 5 cylinders. Had those engine problems creep up earlier in the day. There's second and third spot. Going past Brad Teague in the Food Country USA car number 75. Car 7 is your leader, Harry Gant.
Brought 2 cars, beginning to pull away just a mite from the third place car of Brett Bodine. Opening up some 3 car lengths now as we wind down and show 4 laps to go.
Waltrip is still there. The battle everybody's watching for the win. Ed Whitaker always fields a good car, doesn't he? Really is simple.
Always has a competitive car. And Harry told us before the race he's not going to use the car up early on. The kind of luck he's had this year on the Winston Cup Tour has been awful. He has been only successful in this tour. He's run well. 2 wins, this coming at Charlotte back in the spring in May, and of course recently at Darlington back in September.
Brett Bodine still there right ahead of Bobby Allison. Those front 4 cars pulling away a bit from Bill Elliott, and they have all left Rusty Wallace. Bobby Allison, he drove an Ed Whitaker car last season, brand new car right out of the box at Raceway Park in Indianapolis. So the Whitaker touch certainly extending well past Harry Gant. 2 laps to go.
On top of the fact that Brett Bodine stands to have a good finish here today and possibly have a shot at winning it, he is currently 3rd in the Busch Grand National point standings, and the top two members have already had trouble. Larry Pearson has parked it. He will finish possibly in the 35th or 36th spot, and Jack Ingram is some 18 laps down. So young Bodine stands to gain some points, and he's having trouble.
Brett Bodine, problems with Brett Bodine. Bobby Allison with the T-bone maneuver up in turns 3 and 4. They're coming around for the white flag. Dale Jarrett avoids to the inside of the racetrack. Caution and white flag from Bobby Scruggs. It's down to the final moments here. Brett Bodine looked as though the car just cut loose on him between turns 3 and 4. And as he went up the banking, so did Bobby Allison, trying to avoid him, and Bobby had nothing to do but hit the man.
And Bobby trying to get that car coached around, teasing that injured Miller Buick back across to take a checkered flag as they come around. And with the white and yellow out, it is all academic. Harry Gant will make the sweep for the Busch Grand National Tour as he comes off under caution. He will win it here at the All-Pro 300. And Eli,
we'll never know what Darrell had up his sleeve.
We'll never know. We'll have to wait maybe 2 more races left as Bobby Scruggs holds the checkered flag.
Let's see if we can rack that back, fellas, in the truck. Let's take another look at that incident up in turn 3 and 4.
You got to think possibly that Brett blew an engine. I think that's exactly what happened there in the middle of the corner. He's on the bottom of the racetrack, and the car just slips up across the track, puff of smoke, and boom! Bobby Allison tags him in the driver's door. Allison had nowhere to go. He keeps the car up high. Bodine's car comes sliding down. Watch the good move by Dale Jarrett to miss Brett Bodine across the track. Jarrett stays out of the way, but a tough break for Brett Bodine, and he will officially be shown finishing back in what, 10th spot, Eli?
10th spot, right. They're going to show him a couple of laps down as we have it unofficially. We'll go to the victory lane celebration with Harry Gant, Ed Whitaker, the rest of that crew as soon as we come back.
The Monte Carlo SS of NASCAR champion Dale Earnhardt uses just 1 make of tire, the Goodyear Racing Eagle. And every Monte Carlo SS leaves Chevrolet with just 1 make of tire, the Goodyear Eagle GT Street Radial. Not by coincidence, because Goodyear makes better high-performance tires for the track and for the street. Goodyear Eagles, they'll take you home the quick way or to the winner's circle.
Goodyear, take me home.
It runs with a beauty, an inner strength, a force that sets it apart. Thunderbird Turbo Coupe. Run with it.
Now, during Ford's Leadership Celebration, get a $1,000 cash bonus on Thunderbird Turbo Coupe.
Live from Madison Square Garden, it's the 100th anniversary of the USA Mobile Indoor Track and Field Championships. Year after year, the best in the world have gathered at the Garden. You're invited to celebrate along with these top athletes who will be competing in this, the final event of the 1988 Mobile Indoor Grand Prix season, Friday, February 26th. Tickets are available at the Garden box office and all Ticketron outlets, or by calling Teletron at 212-947-5850.
They're coming. They're coming to your town. Wait till you tell the kids. The all-new Muppet Babies Live with special guest stars Miss Piggy and Kermit.
Hello, everybody. Hi there.
The Muppet Babies live on stage. Wait till you tell the kids.
At the Felt Forum, now through February 28th. For ticket information, call 212-563-8300.
Well, on the Winston Cup Tour, his luck has been anything but good this year, but on the Busch Grand National Series, another win for Harry Gant here at Charlotte. Pat Patterson is in victory lane.
Well, Harry Gant is out of the car. Ed Whitaker, the car owner, coming up and giving Harry a big hug, as he has really done a fantastic job this afternoon. And Harry, a big hug. Harry, congratulations. A great run for your team this afternoon. You've enjoyed a lot of success with this car, and you were successful again today.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, the Ed Whitaker and all the Chris and all the boys just done a heck of a job on the car. You know, we ran real good to start the race. Car's been running real good all week, but we come in and changed some tires there before the halfway, and we made some adjustments. Then we got off, so we had to keep adjusting back and work our way through that doggone lap traffic. And it got down there to the last between me and Darrell and 00 Brent. And I knew if I didn't get in front, I probably wouldn't be able to pass him because the track was pretty slick. And my car out front could run pretty good, but if somebody let up a little bit, it hurt my car because I think I had a lot higher gear in it. We were practicing such fast laps, and using such a high gear, the race pace was much slower, and then a lower gear would have helped a little bit, but it come right through on the end like it always does.
Harry, winning the race here so close to home, and after having a tough year in a Winston Cup car, I know that every time you come to victory lane, regardless in this car or the other one, it really is a boost for all of your people.
It sure is, you know, especially all of our team, you know, the Mach 1 race team, the Skoll team, and all our people down there. And I think this helps our crew, you know, to be able to drive Ed Whitaker's car. And you know, like I say before, Buick, you know, is main V6 in this thing. Jim Ruggles V6 engine, run real good all day. And all the boys at Whitaker's have just done a good job on this car.
Well, congratulations. Handsome Harry Gant comes home a winner in the All Pro Auto Parts 300.
Talking about a disastrous season to date in Winston Cup, he's been running at the finish in 6 of only his 25 starts. No top 5 and only 4 top 10 finishes. But today, as you see in the top 5 rundown, Harry Gant takes $44,000 and the win. Third of the year. Darrell Waltrip second. Elliott, Wallace, and Allison run at the top 5. Eli has a tremendous run. There's a top 10. L.D. Ottinger is 6th. Bobby Moroso, young fella, finished in 7th. Good run for Glenn Jarrett in 8th. Bobby Dragon 9th. And Brett Bodine, after that disastrous accident, a blown engine, with 1 lap to go, will come home in 10th spot.
Tough break for Brett Bodine. The Busch Grand National season point chase is continuing. Larry Pearson, because of his early departure from the event, unable to wrap up the championship here, so the battle moves on to the next stop on the Busch Grand National Tour. But for this afternoon, it's Harry Gant. And all of us here at SETN congratulate Harry Gant, Ed Whitaker, and all the crew on Harry's victory in the All Pro Auto Parts 300 here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. This SETN NASCAR Racing Special has been brought to you by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Never matters how far you go, Goodyear takes you home. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Exxon, quality you can count on. Exxon. the executive producer of SETN